everybody, Nick at BrookfieldAngler.com. We are working in the garage today. I've got with me my little dude Landon. He's going to be my helper today. Say hi, Landon. Come over here. Come on. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. He's going to help us out. So what we are doing today is something that people have been asking me to make a how-to video on ever since my last Hobie Outback that I had last year in 2016. And that is how to put A-trails on the Outback. And since I got the new 2017, I've got my video camera, I've got everything ready, and I've got some time to go ahead and do this. I'm actually finally going to get this done so everybody can see how to do it, exactly what I do, and if they want A-trails on their kayak, or if you want A-trails on your kayak, watch the video and we'll go through everything and what you need to do, and then you'll be able to do it yourself without having to guess at it like I did the first time. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to walk through all the different pieces and hardware and tools and stuff that we're going to need, and then we'll start putting them on. So, all right. So first thing that we have here, we have 4 feet. Okay, so these are what the actual A-trail stuff goes into. Here are the A-trail bars right here. Okay. And then we have all the hardware that we're going to need. So what we have here are 4 10/32 screws. These are 2 inches long. I have Phillips head pan heads on here. We also are going to need 4 number 10 washers. We're going to need 2 10/32 nylon lock nuts. We're going to need 2 fender washers, small fender washers. These are 7/8 inch diameter. I believe they're called a number 5 fender washer, number 5 by 7/8. We're going to need 2 well nuts. We're going to need a 10 millimeter or 3/8 inch wrench. That's going to help us hold these nuts when we're tightening everything down. We're going to need a marker, and what we need the marker for is to go ahead and figure out exactly where we or you want to cut your A-trail. So these A-trails are actually off of a Pro Angler 14 foot, so we don't quite need them the full length, at least not how I want to set them up. You can set them up full length. You could cut them shorter than what I'm going to cut them shorter for. You could do whatever you want to do, but for me, I'm going to end up cutting about 1 foot off of this. So we need a marker to go ahead and mark the bar where we actually want to cut it, a tape measure, and we are going to need a drill here. So I've got 2 drills here, one to actually make the holes. This is a 3/16 bit, and then we're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver. Also, to cut the A-trails, we will need a sawzall with a metal blade on there, not the wood blade. Wood blade bad, metal blade good. And that is pretty much all the tools that we need. So we are going to go ahead and start doing this here. And this doesn't take that long. This is probably, I don't know, maybe an hour assembly. We'll see. Right now it is, let's see, so it is about 10:20 in the morning. So we'll look at the watch when we're done and figure out exactly how long this took. I already went to the store, got all the hardware and stuff, so definitely go get everything ready before you even start. It just makes it a lot easier to actually make this all happen. So here we go. All right, so the first thing that we want to do is take our A-trail system here and figure out exactly where and how we want to lay it out. Okay, so we're going to take our rails. Now what you're going to notice on these is that these will have a little hole in here, okay? This is on the Pro Angler 12 and Pro Angler 14. This is where your rudder handle actually comes through. The little spindle goes through that, and the handle's on top. We're not putting risers or anything on the Outback. You don't really need it. So what we want to do is keep these in the back, and if we're going to cut anything off, we want to cut closer to this side. So how I figured out that I want this laid out, and I did this last year, and it really worked out well for me. So I'm going to cut a foot off of this end of it. So just 12 inches off the end of it. And where this ends up leaving me is with rails from right in front of this rod holder right here your front rod holder. So this way I'll still have accessibility to it. And then right in front, I suppose, of the rear rod holder as well. Okay, so when we make the cut, we're going to cut right where this hand is, and this will be right here. So I have all this room to go ahead and attach whatever I want to attach to it. Railblazer rod holders, the star mounts, fish binders, whatever you want to put. Any H-rail accessories will be able to go right on this. Okay, so I've already gone ahead and sort of marked out where I want this side. So we are just going to go ahead and do the first step, which is going to be cutting this bar. All right, so like I said, so what I did is I went ahead and marked exactly where I want this cut. Okay, so this is actually 12 inches, 12 1/16 of an inch here. So I'm going to cut straight down on this line. I use a sawzall. You could use a hacksaw, whatever you want to use. Alright, go ahead and get the spurs off of there. Alright, so now I'm going to come back over to the kayak. Make sure that our cuts were where we wanted them to be. Yeah. Alright, so what we're going to do is go ahead and just put the feet on real fast. We're not going to attach these or anything yet. We're just putting them on just to make sure that our length is indeed what we want. So when you're doing this, go ahead and make sure that that hole is facing straight up and straight down. Because I don't know if you can notice on this camera, but there's a little bend to this, and we want that bend to follow the contour of the kayak. Okay, so go ahead and put those feet on. Alright, so we've got this lined up. This all works very well. It fits exactly how I wanted it to fit, which is right in front of, or right behind the front rod holder and right in front of the rear rod holder, where the foot of the little riser there is completely on the kayak deck. So we just want to take our marker here and mark the front so we know exactly where we want to drill. And before we drill the back, we're just going to go ahead and attach this one so that we have something holding it in place so we don't drill incorrectly. Alright, so now that we've got our front hole marked of exactly where the screw is going to go and where we attach the foot, we're just going to go ahead and take our 3/16 drill bit and drill the hole. You don't want to get crazy with this. Once it goes through, pull it out right away because there is some cabling for the rudder control, rudder up and down. So just get through the deck. You don't have to sit there and ream it out, just real quick. Alright, so now we've got our hole. And we are going to take one of our screws and one of our little number 4 washers, and we're just going to put it through the foot, right there. Keep it in there just to hold its place. And then we're going to move to the back. Take our marker again and mark the back where we want it. Good. And with that mark made, we're going to go ahead and drill this hole. And once again, we're going to take our number 4 washer, put it over here, and make sure this is exactly right. Alright, so this looks really good now. this is what it will look like once it's all attached. Alright, so one tool that I realized I just totally forgot to tell you about is just a different drill bit. You're going to need a 3/8 drill bit for the well nut. Okay, so that is for that. The only reason why you have to use a well nut here, so the only reason why you have to use a well nut is because if you mount your H-rail, where I'm mounting them here towards the back, there's no way for you to get your hand underneath to go ahead and actually hold the nut and the washer on to keep it in place. So that's where the well nut comes in. What happens is you drill the hole, you drop it down, and when you tighten it, it expands so it clamps the deck of the actual kayak itself. So now that you've got your little pilot hole drilled, you know where you like how it's laid out. You can go ahead and pop this out, get it out of the way, and open up that little pilot hole with a 3/8 drill bit. Alright, so now that the hole is drilled, let's go ahead and pop that down in there. It looks good. Alright, so what I also like to do is go ahead and take a little bit of super glue.
So it stays inside.
That's correct. So just put a little drop right around the opening. A couple little drops. And then go ahead and pop your well nut down there. And what the super glue does is just holds it in place so when you start tightening it down, that doesn't spin in there at all. So they'll just hold it tight for a minute. So while that's drying, we're going to go ahead and attach the front part of the H-rail foot. So one thing to note is that on the bottom of the feet here, there is a little hole. Okay, and what you're going to want to do is go ahead and take a little self-tapping metal screw and a little sheet metal screw and go ahead and screw this right into here. So what I'm doing is just taking a little 7/64 bit, drill a small hole in there, and then take your screw gun and put that in there. And what this does is just stops the foot from, or the H-rail from actually spinning in the bar. Okay. All right. So in order to go ahead and get access to the front screw, you are going to need to either go in through the hatch, or through the center hatch, or the front hatch, so that you can get your hand underneath there. Go ahead and pop that in there. Now this is also the step where you are going to want to use the fender washer. Back up a little bit, baby. This way? Or, yeah, okay. So this is where you're going to want to use the fender washer and your little lock nut. So that's going to go on the underside of the kayak. Alright, so once you get the nut started, you're going to want to grab your little 10mm or 3/8 wrench and your screw gun. And reach back under there and hold that nut. Alright, so now that's good and tight, no play, so that one is set. Alright, so now we can take our next screw, go ahead and get that in there. Started. Good. Alright, so that is screwed down now. So that is one side of an H-rail. And then the other side is pretty much exactly the same setup. So we are going to go ahead and work on that next. so we're done. We've got the A-trails on there. Both sides are done. It is, let's see, 11:05, so I said we started this about 10:20, 10:25, so a half hour roughly to go ahead and put the A-trails on. So it's really not bad. Now you can take whatever A-trail accessories you have, like I said, rod holders, fish finder mounts, truly whatever you want to do. Those just go on there. You can go ahead and slide them back and forth so you can get things out of your way really easily. And there you go. That's it. So, Landon, anything else? You done?
Yeah.
That was easy or hard? Easy. Good. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for watching. I hope that this helped. If you have any questions, leave a comment. If you like this video, go ahead and hit like. If you did like it, don't like. Just move on to the next one. But probably hit like. So other than that, subscribe, tell your friends, share, and we will see you guys on the water. Thanks.